How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Manor Lords, and welcome back to a very rainy Nerdenfeld. Things are actually going sort of okay at the moment, which is a nice change of pace for Nerdenfeld. We have some food. It's only 4 months worth of food, but we have some food, and that is definitely better than the alternative, which is having absolutely no food. But I'd like to continue on this little path that we're on. I'd like to continue making food and continuing to make some money, and I'd like to continue to import things, and I'd like to get to the point where we don't need to import things quite as much. So that's going to be my plan today, and I think a big part of that, to be quite honest, is going to be clearing out some buildings that we're not using anymore, like this mining pit and the clay furnace. I think we can get rid of this field here as well. And I might also start moving out this logging camp and forester's hut to another location. I think we could maybe do down here for both of those. Obviously a little bit further away, but if we lean on logistics, so basically if we go into the construction menu into logistics and we get ourselves some more hitching posts, well, then we can get more oxen, we can bring those guys in, and we can haul things around nice and quickly. And of course, if we put people to work in the different stables, those people are going to be permanent haulers, and they'll move things around a little bit better as well. So I think that's kind of the angle that I want to go with in terms of optimizing Nerdenfeld just a little bit. Now, we do have the goal of getting 5 more level 3 plots, and if we can do that, we can get the heavy plow. And I've been thinking about which of these other perks I would like. We could do sheep breeding. I don't think we need it. We're not really doing too much with clothing. We could do more with it, but I don't think we need it. We're going to be making enough money that we can just buy them if I want them. We could do fertilization, which obviously allows us to have a fallow field as a pasture, which rapidly restores fertility. That would be really good. But I think bakeries are going to be the way to go. I've seen a couple of people in the comments of some of the previous episodes talking about this upgrade, and basically what we do with the bakery is we go in, we turn an artisan's house, a level 2 or 3 burgage plot, into a bakery, and it's twice as efficient as the communal oven. So this would get rid of the need for the communal ovens. So I think that's the path that we're going to take, which is basically a full farming specialization for Nerdenfeld with a little hint of beekeeping as well. Now, as it stands, we don't actually have anyone unassigned, so I'm going to start clearing out things like this field. I'm going to get rid of this mining pit as well. I'm going to get rid of this clay furnace. And I think we are going to look to moving the logging camp and forester's huts. I think that'd be a really good idea. So it is going to free up some space. And I'm going to move this right out to, I'm going to say right about there. Should be solid. And I think we'll move this forester out to that space as well. So right about there should be perfect. That does free up a couple of people who are now unassigned, which is completely fine by me because we do need people to haul things around. And I am going to need people for some construction. I'm also thinking I want to clear out this space so I can start building some houses in here. We do have 324 stone right now, which we can clear out. That's totally a thing we can do. And I'm also thinking I might just go ahead and build another little burgage plot in this corner. Let's see if I can get something interesting in here, because we do have these roads sort of looping around, and that, honestly, I'm kind of here for it. I think that's solid. That'll be a nice little burgage plot in there. And then while we do that, I've also been thinking about more specializations for all of my different plots. As it stands right now, we have 271 bread, no eggs, 30 apples, -1 honey. So why don't we go in and start spending some money to just get a bunch of chicken coops and see if we can start to have a surplus of eggs, and then do the same thing with the apple orchards. Obviously, we have this whole row of them over here. These aren't really producing too much right now, but they will eventually. So we could just have all of these burgage plots basically producing food. Only a select few of them really need to be for production. We have most of them up here, so I think that's kind of the angle that we go for. And I think we're going to be relying pretty heavily on our trading posts for all of that, because obviously we're importing barley, we're importing all of this food, but we are also, you know, exporting yarn and dyes, we are exporting shoes, and we're exporting warbows and large shields as well. So we're in a pretty good spot to make some money. It's just that, you know, at certain times of year, we're importing more than we're typically exporting, which is completely fine. It's just sort of the reality of things. Anyway, what I'd like to do is I want to come in here. I want to take this road out. Also, the camera controls they're unhinged, man. They get pretty bad sometimes. It's kind of an absolute nightmare. But I want to just have this road hug the perimeter of the windmill a little bit more than it's doing right now, if that's something I can get away with, which it looks like it absolutely is. And this is just going to give me a little bit more space because I would like to build some burgage plots around this thing. And I think what we'll do, apparently I can't do that. So I think what we'll do is maybe sort of bring it, I don't want to bring it up like this, but I think we can sort of bring it around here and bring it out like that, and that'll be totally fine. And then on this side, we just, I think we continue to hug this a little bit. We turn sort of sharply there, and then maybe like that, or maybe we just bring it straight around. That might be a little bit better. This road is probably not going to get used all that much, but I just want something to really nicely surround that windmill. I just think it kind of makes sense. We'll also do a little connection there just because we can. And then what I'll do in terms of getting some burgage plots in here is I think we bring a road sort of down here to, let's say, about here. We'll bring a road down through here as well. We'll connect this over to the windmill road, and then this can be a little space for burgage plots. This can be a space for burgage plots once the stone's gone. And then up here as well, now that we have the mining pit gone and the clay furnace gone, this could also be a space for burgage plots. My overall goal today, to be completely honest, is absolutely to boost the population, but I want to put all of those people to work in things like the logging camps, the foresters' huts, and in basically all of my my granaries. We want more people in those. We want more people in the storehouses, just everywhere. That's sort of the overall goal. We also have 407 regional wealth right now, so I'm going to come down here and spend probably an unreasonable amount of that on some chicken coops, because again, I want to see if we can start to have a surplus of eggs so that we have got a regular supply of different types of food. So we'll come through here. We're down to 257 right now. That's going to be more than enough to change all of these guys into chicken coops right about there. So that's perfect. We'll let those build. It shouldn't take too long at all. It's pretty much an instant thing, which is great news. And then what I'm also wanting to do is start to maybe upgrade some of these guys, because we do have upgrades available for these plots, and that's going to be another source of money as well. So level 2 burgage plots generate 1 regional wealth per family per month. So essentially upgrade you. I'm going to go along and just upgrade as many of these as I can get away with. They do have a market right in front of them as well, so that should keep them relatively happy, and I think that's going to be fine right about there. It's going to be a bunch of them getting upgraded. And these guys here as well. We have these what do you call it, vegetable plots behind them, vegetable gardens. So we'll upgrade that one. We can't upgrade this one because they don't have a fuel stall nearby. But honestly, that's fine. That's going to be a really, really good amount of upgrades. That's going to keep people nice and busy. And then, like I said, we have this space up here where I would like to build a few more burgage plots. So I'm thinking we do something like this just to sort of cap it off. This is going to be a little bit more boxy than I'd like it to be, but that's totally fine. We can get ourselves a little something coming up here. We can come over like this and down to about here. And that's going to give us 6 burgage plots, which is absolutely fantastic. When it comes to this space here, we'll go across this way, we'll come around, and that gives us some weirdly shaped burgage plots. And I'm pretty sure this is going to reduce the efficiency of that windmill, but that's a price I'm willing to pay for the time being, because I think it's going to look really cool having burgage plots backed up right to the windmill. I just think it's going to look neat. I'm also thinking I'm going to put 2 people to work in this stonecutter camp. Not that we need it, but just that I'd like this to be cleared out sooner than later. Also, totally unrelated to Manor Lords, I don't know if it's obvious, but I've had a cold coming on for like the last week, and I think it's finally starting to hit a little bit. I can feel it in my nose and sort of get a little bit of a headache coming in. It's just, so if I just sound a little bit nasal and a little bit run down, then yeah, I've I've had this cold coming in. I didn't get out of bed until, I want to say 2 p.m. yesterday, which is normal, by the way. I stick to sort of an East Coast US schedule, so a little bit late, but relatively normal. And I was in bed again by about 12:30. So I just went by and you know, woke up 8-9 hours later, so I'm back on like a UK kind of schedule. It's just, I'm just getting sick. I'm just getting old and I'm getting sick. That's just how it is. That's just where I'm at in life. So that's just in case I sound a little bit nasal or a bit weird or whatever it is. I'm just getting a little bit sick, and it's okay. I'll be fine. Manor Lords is like the best cure for whatever it is. Now, I think when it comes to these spaces here, I would like to get some more things in here. I'm thinking we could lean into chicken coops again, but I want to double check something with my trading post. So if we have a look here and I go to materials, we do have the option of exporting leather, and leather is, I mean, it's worth 6 gold, which is pretty decent. We don't have a lot of it right now, but if we just go around and get a bunch of goat sheds in the backs of our burgage plots, we could get a lot of leather pretty quickly. And I'm thinking of doing that. I'm thinking that might not be a bad idea, just as another source of income for Nerdenfeld. I might go ahead and do that, honestly. We're gonna need some gold to do it. I don't have, well, we've got a little bit there. In fact, does it cost gold to do that? It does. It's 25 per shed, which is actually a lot more than I thought it was. So I've just noticed that we have 402 regional wealth, and that some of these guys actually do seem to be in a good place for upgrades. So this Fletcher shop is going to go to level 3. This guy cannot go to level 3 because I don't have the planks, but that is at least another burgage plot heading up to level 3, which means we're going to be in a better position, hopefully, to upgrade a little bit sooner than later. It would be really nice to do that. We are going to need the money for it. We are going to need the planks for it. We're going to need the timber for it. And I'm noticing that my plank production seems to be falling quite a bit as well, so it might not be a bad idea to go ahead and get ourselves another saw pit. I'm kind of looking at this space for it, but I'm also looking at this space and thinking that reasonably a storehouse in here might be a really good idea, so that we have all these things relatively nearby to this granary and to all these people and to this market as well, which has no free stall locations. So, well, maybe that market's not all that important. What I would like to try, though, is I want to bring this little road just across to about here, and I want to see if I can put my storehouse on that little road, and I absolutely can. I don't need to do that. I just like the idea of doing that. It just seems like a good place for it. And then maybe we do look at getting a saw pit sort of back here somewhere. That is something we can do. So if I stop you from snapping to roads, and we just swing you around to sort of be in line with the storehouse, can I get this thing? I can get it here, and I can't really go any higher, but that is going to link to the road on the right side, so I'm kind of okay with that. We could bring it down a little bit, put a little bit of space between these guys. I think what we do is we go for right about there, which gives us that connection, and I think just for the sake of it, we're going to do a little road, maybe something kind of like this as well, so we have that connection too. And that's going to give us a really solid space for storage and for planks production, and it just turns that into a really good little hub. Now, looking here, we're down to 12 stone left in this deposit, which is, I mean, good or bad, depending on your perspective on things. For me, it's good because I'm going to use this space for a bunch more interesting looking burgage plots, and I'm definitely kind of excited about that. And would you look at you? I love these. I love these so much. We need 4 more of them for a level up for Nerdenfeld. I'm pretty sure we can do it. But I really want them to come and get this stone so I can get rid of the stonecutter camp, so I can get those people out to work, and so I can get these burgage plots that I really, really want. I'm not gonna lie, it's really important to me that we get these burgage plots. I also need this to upgrade with some planks as well, which is kind of where you come in. So let's set the construction reserve to, we'll do 20 as per usual. I'm gonna get 2 people working here, and I'm gonna get 1 person working in here immediately, so we can start moving those guys around. I think that's gonna be great. And with 1 stone left in here, we should see someone come out any second now to pick that up, take it away, and there we go. So now the stonecutter camp has no resources nearby, or at least it shouldn't. It does have 1 inside, but that's fine. We'll get rid of you guys. We're going to demolish this stonecutter thing, and then this space is just gonna be for houses. So let's take a look and see what exactly we can do. I wanna go from here, I wanna go to there, and I want to go around like this. And what, I mean, you know, it is a bit weird looking. We do have that 1 large plot down there at the right side, but I am kind of here for it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm curious though, if I rotated it, we'd get this, which looks terrible. We'd get this, which looks terrible. we'd get this, which looks terrible. I think we'll stick with this one. We'll go ahead and build that, and it's going to be great. It's going to be such a good little plot, such a good little space. We got this like roundabout around the windmill that I absolutely adore. So that's perfect. That is exactly what I wanted. Now, we have got 4 people that are unassigned. I think what I'm going to do, like I said, we're getting low on timber. Let me get another one working out here. And then let me come down this way and make sure that we have another one working in here. Do we have people working in the foresters' huts? We do. We have plenty of people working at the woodcutters, and we do have nearly 3,000 firewood, so I think we're okay there as well. I think realistically what we need to do at this point is turn our attention towards the stables. Now, we have no free stable space, but we do have a lot of unassigned oxen right now. So let me just double check. Can I assign, first off, upgrade you. Can I assign any oxen? So I can't assign them here yet, which is fine. Can I assign them to the granary? No. It would have been nice if I could, but I guess we can't. I don't think I can assign them to the windmill either, which again is completely fine. And I don't know if I can assign them to the storehouses either, which again is completely fine. So we'll not worry too much about it. I think what we'll do is just get one person working here. We'll get one person working here, and that's going to be some permanent haulers, which I think is going to be great. But I think we probably also want to get our hands on, I guess, a few more. We do have this space back here, which might be really good for some stables. I'd also kind of like to look into rebuilding some spaces at some point. I was thinking of maybe moving the trading post out to sort of the outskirts of town and turning this into another market. That might not be a bad idea, to be quite honest with you. I don't think I can move the trading post building though. I think I have to just demolish it and rebuild it. So we'll go ahead and get ourselves a new trading post first. I think that's probably the smart move. So we'll put it somewhere like here, which I think is a good spot. I think we can kind of manage here. So we'll do the trading post there. I'm going to get another livestock trading post as well, if I can, which, given that there's a well here, I think I'm going to get rid of the well, and we'll try and put the livestock trading post right next to this thing. We'll put a little road next to it. We can maybe move the well into a bit of a better spot. I can move it to the other side of the road, for example, or move it down to here. I don't even know if we need it here, to be honest with you. We also could have reasonably put it in this space, which would have looked really cool as well for this little neighborhood, but you know, for the time being, it's totally fine. Let me have a look at trade. Let me have a look at the livestock post, and I don't think I want to put it there. I think I do want to sort of put it right down here. That seems like a good place for it, although this is much closer to, you know what? It doesn't matter. Let me turn off snap to roads. Let me rotate it around. Let me see if I can get it right up against the actual trading post. So right about, I'm going to say right about there is kind of going to be the sweet spot. So we'll go for that. And then I think next to this, we just look at building a market. That seems like it would be a good idea. Just a little marketplace right in there. Nothing too crazy, nothing too fancy, just a few market stalls, and that'll be great. And then we have this trading post. There's no one working there right now, which is to be expected. There's 4 working at this one. So demolish the original one. We've got 8 people unassigned. So 1, 2, 3, 4 in there. We want to assign some livestock to this permanently, so things get hauled around nice and quickly. That brings us, well, we're still sitting with 6 unassigned ox, 1 unassigned horse. That's fine. And then I guess I also want to prioritize this so it gets built nice and quickly as well. That way we can get rid of this one up here, which again, we can't necessarily assign anything to. And I think all we're doing is bringing in some sheep, which is fair enough. Now, this is something I'm seeing a lot of. We are seeing requirements not being met for so many of my burgage plots. They're not happy that there's not a varied supply of food. And I'm not 100% sure why that is, because we do have a bit of variety. We have eggs, we have bread. I guess if we look overall, we have 67 apples. I guess we might get more eggs at some point. I mean, all these guys are going to town with the eggs, I would imagine, but we'll see what happens. We have 5 unassigned workers. I think we just need to focus on that and focus on getting things to be a little bit more efficient. So this storehouse down here, let's get another person working in there. This granary right here, let's just get 3 people working in there. That leaves us 1 unassigned. That's going to help us move food around so much quicker. I think that's going to be really, really important. I think I want to do the same thing up here. And honestly, I want to do the same thing with the storehouses. So we are going to need even more people, which is kind of ridiculous, but that's sort of where we're at, to be completely honest, is we just need more people. So I have been thinking, and I know that's dangerous. I know it's definitely dangerous, but I've been thinking that I want to try and build another manor. I want to get that little castle in here. So if we go to construction, go to administration, it is actually good for public order as well. So we can't afford it. Oh man, I don't have the planks for it. That's rough. That's actually a really good point. I would need a huge stockpile of planks and timber to make that happen. Oh, that's going to be rough. That is going to be really, really rough because we are consuming so many planks to go ahead and make all of the stuff that we're exporting. Okay, I think this is what we're going to go for because this is going to allow me to expand it and build the garrison tower and the tax office at some point. But for now, we're going to commit to this and we're just going to let this get built. It needs to be a pretty high priority. We have 3 people that can work on it. And then around this, like I said, I just want to build marketplaces, which is maybe a little bit of a waste of the space, but I think it's going to look really good. I think it's going to be a really nice little touch. Just having all of these in here, if they ever happen to build, which is definitely a very big if, but at the very least, it does clear out the space, and it also gives us these sort of more dense roads, which I'm kind of here for. So we'll just go around the entire thing. It's going to be a ridiculous number of potential marketplace stalls, but again, I'm kind of okay with that. And we'll just bring you over, down, and across like this as well. And it just clears it out really nicely. It gives us this nice big square to play around with, and I'm sort of okay with that. We can also probably get away with some burgage plots down the side here, since we're not doing anything with forestry in this space. So actually, let me bring something back like this. And I'm going to go for some pretty decently sized burgage plots, I think. So we'll go to about there on the apiary. In fact, what I might do is just outline the apiary with some roads so that we can get the burgage plots to follow the sort of the right angle in that corner, which might be pretty decent. And then I guess we want to go to about here. And do I want to go further with this? I think we could go a little. No, I think what we'll do is we'll come down here. So straight across to here and just gradually bring this road down to about that spot. But we can also extend this back and just bring it sort of, maybe not that far out, but bring it sort of straight out like this and connect it to this guy. So that's going to give us a nice little connection around there. This is a huge space for burgage plots. In fact, what I might do is just run a nice straight road sort of straight through there towards the farms. And that does separate it kind of nicely. It does split it up quite nicely. This would make a good space for that industrial district that I've been talking about. But I think reasonably, we are going to want a good number of people working. So let's get our hands on another nice big set of burgage plots. I don't love the ones at the end. Not a huge fan of that. I think we could bring these down a little bit. Maybe give them slightly larger plots, or we just stick with this maybe. I also apparently can't do that for some reason, which is weird. I don't know why I can't do that. Oh, there we go. I had to do it in 2 sets. So I did the bunch on the right and then the bunch on the left, but that's going to be a nice set of burgage plots right about there. And I think we'll do exactly the same thing just down here to fill in this space as well. So that's going to be a really, really nice bonus of plus 16 living spaces. That's probably about as many as we're going to need for the time being. That's, if anything, probably a little bit extra. But, you know, like I've said, it's going to mean I can put everyone to work in all of the communal ovens, all of the storehouses, all of the windmills, all of the farms. If anything, we can probably get another farmhouse if I really wanted to. So we're in a pretty good spot. We also have 6 months of food supplies now, which is absolutely fantastic. And then looking in here, these guys don't have food. And I don't understand why. I don't understand how they really don't have food supplies. I know it's it's market supply, right? So I have to wonder if it maybe is a granary thing, if it's maybe the granaries are picking up the different food supplies and just not spreading them out all that much, or if there's just not enough, say eggs, for example, are all getting loaded into this granary, which they're not, but you know, let's say they did. Maybe these only get spread out to this marketplace. I mean, yeah, food variety down here is eggs, bread, and vegetables, so that would make sense. Whereas food variety up here is, what are we looking at right now? We are looking at nothing, basically. So maybe it wouldn't be a terrible idea, because I think a lot of these guys are set up with goats. Maybe it wouldn't be a terrible idea to set up some more of these burgage plots, these ones, for example, with some more vegetable gardens. I think that'd be a nice little addition to this space. And some of these guys can upgrade as well. These guys over here, for example, are pretty much in a spot where they're ready to upgrade. So we will do that because it's going to be a little bit of extra money for me. So we'll get that done. These guys as well. This one has another living space, but I'm going to upgrade it first. This one can be upgraded as well with another living space too. But again, I'm just going to go through and upgrade whoever is ready to be upgraded. Because again, more money, and more money is definitely going to be good for us. So we'll get all that going. These guys are fine. We're going to leave them be. And I guess we just focus on all of this construction. I think it's going to be good though. Having the administrative building is going to give us a bit more public order, which, I mean, it's a crime thing. I don't think crimes happen in this current build of Manor Lords, but you know, we could imagine that if it did, it would happen less because we're going to have a manor. Enemy unit has been spotted. We do have a good number of them crossing over from the west, which is very interesting. We also have 2 camps up here. So what I might do is go ahead and rally the troops a little bit. We'll go ahead and rally all you guys. I can't rally you to a different region. Okay, that's fine. I'm not about to run out of timber. I'm fine, I think. Am I? No. We will be. We're fine. We're all right. Let me rally these guys to here and get them out there. And then hopefully what we can do is get them set up really nicely to defend us. So have the archers as per usual sort of towards the back right about there. And then the rest of you, so you guys can go and line up in front of them as per usual. So right about, say, there. Should be just fine. And then all of you are going to move in formation to roughly there, I think, is going to be good enough for us. So right about there, I would imagine that'll be a good spot to intercept these guys. And then honestly, oh, we have a camp over here as well. I think we go deal with some bandit camps. I think we get a really, really nice bonus amount of money into Nerdenfeld, just so I can either buy a bunch of food or, you know, get a bunch of upgrades. Really, either or. I will take either at this point. That'd be completely fine. These guys actually look like they're pushing to the. Oh, that's from the camp. Okay. Well, that's concerning. I mean, my archers can deal with them, pretty sure. Yeah, so they're fleeing, which is great. They can now deal with those guys, which, I mean, my soldiers seem to be dealing with just fine as well. So let me just sort of space you guys out a little bit like this, just to make sure that we're set to intercept all of this. And you know, let me move my archers a little bit further forward. I don't like to do this, but it gives them a little bit more range, and that's kind of what I'm looking for. I want my archers to be able to shoot these guys just from about, well, there, actually, which is perfect. So that's going to give us a bit of an opportunity to do some damage before they even get here. So they are hopefully going to flee in no time at all. It looks like, to be quite honest, not really a challenge. I hate to say it. You know, I don't mean to insult the bandits, but yeah, they're not really doing much, which is completely fine. Let's go and get this bandit camp over here and get that nice little bit of money into what are you guys doing? I don't know. I don't know what that was. They kind of all ran back for some reason, but okay. That's totally fine. There we go. Let's send this to the nearest town. 132 is not bad. And then the other bandit camps are all the way up there, which is it's a hell of a distance. So I think for the time being, since we had a fight and since we're a bit tired, we'll just bring everybody back. We'll go deal with the other ones a little bit later on. But that's not bad. That's going to bring us up to 268, which is fantastic. And I just want to check, because we have these level 2 plots. So this burgage plot, we can't upgrade it right now because we don't have the planks. But it seems like the plots down here are so much happier than the plots all the way up here. And for the life of me, I don't understand why. I really don't get why these guys, I mean, this one's fine now. Like you're getting food now. I mean, these ones aren't. And I don't know why. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this market, which I know it doesn't make a lot of sense, but I'm going to get rid of that because it does mean that those guys are going to be forced to rebuild markets. And I'm hoping they go for here. This place has 25 locations. This one has, I have no idea, 20. Yeah, 4 rows of 5. So we can do 5 more here, which I guess is fine. And it doesn't look like they're actually building in around here at all, which is really concerning. I don't know where they're building now. Hold on a minute. Let me see. Firewood stall. They built it down here. So this is only going to serve to make these guys happier. But in saying that, I mean, if I could get those planks, I'm just saying, if I could get some planks, I can upgrade these guys to level 3. And that's going to let me get my perks in here. It's going to let me get the heavy plow, which I really want. I'm not going to lie. I do really want the heavy plow to get these farms to be that bit more efficient. Oh, now look at this. I don't love the trees in front of the manor, but it's really cool. I like the little spell. I like the gates, just all of it's really cool. We can also get some fuel reserves in here, which I think is going to be a good idea. We have some people in here, a couple of families. We have taxes as well, which is interesting. We could do a trade tax. We can do all these different taxes here. I don't know if we actually have these in this version of Manor Lords, but a land tax collected from regional wealth and then I guess goes to the treasury. I don't know if we need to do anything with the treasury right now. I think we can leave it be. We also have all of these guys getting built because all of the supplies have been brought out here already, which is fantastic. What I'd like to do with these spaces is very simply, I want to spend ridiculous amounts of money giving each and every one of them an apple orchard, because at the minute we have 105 apples. So if we can give all of these guys apple orchards, not only is it going to look really cool in here, and then these guys can maybe be vegetable gardens or chickens or goats or whatever. Not only is it going to look cool, it's going to give us a huge supply of apples. And that's kind of what I'm looking for. Now, we have 21 planks in storage. Can I upgrade you? I don't have the money for it. That's really disappointing. Every time, this is how it works. Every single time. It's just, you have the resources, but you don't have the money. Or you have the money, but you don't have the resources. And I guarantee you, whenever this regional wealth ticks up to, what is it, 25 gold? Once I'll go look at my planks, and we're not going to have the planks for it. That's how this works every single time. We do have some people coming in here. There we go. Are we gonna make money? Are we trying to spend money? I've got no idea. Absolutely zero clue what's going on. We do have some war bows and some shoes in here, so we might be about to spend or earn a little bit of money from this, but honestly impossible to tell. At the very least, we do have 5 unassigned workers, so let's go around all of these storehouses and make sure there's people in there, which there absolutely are now. Let's look at this granary and get 2 more people in there. In fact, we are going to be growing the population pretty regularly, so we'll just put all of them in there right now, and that's hopefully going to mean that these guys can start getting food a bit more regularly. Maybe, I don't know, these 3 set up some marketplaces or market stalls in this marketplace. I've got no idea. Anyway, we have 52 regional wealth and we have 29 planks. So that should mean I can upgrade you to level 3. Can I upgrade any of you? No, because you don't have the food required. Ah, it's really unfortunate. I would have liked to keep all of my level 3 burgage plots together, but it doesn't seem like that's going to be an option. So I guess this is just going to be a really fancy street at some point. But we'll start with you, and I can get this one as well, which is absolutely fantastic. This one, if I had the money, I could do as well. Oh wait, no, we don't have... I don't know if they even need the armaments. I've actually got no idea. It seems like they don't, because none of these guys have the helmet that they seem to want, so I might be able to get away with this. We also briefly had like 200 and something gold there, and it just immediately went away. That's every time. Like I said, you've either got the resources and not the gold, or the gold and not the resources. So while I've got a bunch of upgrades going on for some of the houses on this road and along here as well, I've actually gone ahead and reassigned this logging camp's work area to basically over here. I want to see if I can, and I can, tell them to chop down the trees in and around the manor, including these ones that are sort of on the road, just so we can clear this space and make it look a bit more like a central square. That's kind of what I want this to be. And for that reason, I'm also thinking the malt house is absolutely going to need to be moved. Now, I have started building a new granary out here and another hitching spot. So I wonder if I can maybe build, and unfortunately I can't, but I am thinking we could build a malt house, say here. And this is basically going to turn into sort of an industrial space back here. We have the sheep farm as well. So I think that's what we'll do, is we'll just build ourselves a malt house right about there. I think I'm also going to get myself another connection to the granary right about there, just because I can. And maybe we do this just to make it look like a really busy space. I don't think there's any point in doing that, but it works out. Maybe we do a little something like this as well, just to sort of define that the malt house is there. And I think we go and just demolish this one. I think we just get that done. I think the tannery could go out here as well. It is quite far from where all the goats are, but we could put some goats in these yards as well, and then just have some haulers bring some stuff over. So we'll get ourselves a tannery, which can go, honestly, right about there. It seems perfectly fine. And do we want to put anything else behind it? I mean, the smithy, will they use iron slabs to craft tools? We don't have any. I mean, we do have iron slabs, I think, but we're not going to have them for long. I would have to imagine that tools are used to improve the general performance of your workers. I have to imagine that that's what they're for. I genuinely have no idea though, so I think we'll just sort of leave it be for now. And then I wonder, can I get a little storehouse back here? I actually can, which I sort of want to do, because I don't think we have a stockpile out this way. We have got one down there, but another one really wouldn't hurt, especially since we are going to be doing all of this industry out here. So let's just try and get myself a little storehouse right about, I guess right about here is going to be totally fine. We can connect it to the road right here. We can bring a little path sort of down here, bring this out and around the sheep farm and down to about there. And that'll be a good little setup for us. So the malt house is built, which is great. Let's immediately get 2 people working in there, because that is kind of important. This granary is going to need upgraded. And then we'll get people working in the tannery as well. So let me go and bulldoze the original tannery, which only had 1 person working in it. But again, what I can do is I can get some people living in here. I can just make this look that little bit better. And yes, I know aesthetics aren't important, but they're important, okay? I want this place to look good and also function really well. That's the goal here. That's the hope anyway. Now, in other news, I've managed to get 2 more burgage plots at level 3 ready to go over here. So this is actually going to push us up to level up, which means we can get the ox working out in the fields. It's going to make our farming that little bit more efficient. And that's kind of exciting. That makes me really, really happy. I'm also thinking that given we have living space for 148 people, and I think that's going to go up with these burgage plots, we could probably get away with another farmhouse out here. And I think that might be a really good idea, because we do have, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, we have some rye fertility here, but we also have so much rye fertility up here. So if I wanted to, I could play around with that a little bit. And I'm not against doing that. I'm absolutely not against doing that. My only thinking is that maybe the farmhouse should go in this corner, so it's a little bit closer to everything. And I'm not necessarily going to put this to work right away, but I do think an extra little farmhouse here would be a pretty good idea. So there we go. Settlement level increased. That is what we're looking for. Let me put this guy right here, and that's absolutely going to be perfect. I don't know what else we're going to need. I mean, we have got a windmill down here. We have a windmill there. Do we have everyone working in the windmills? We don't. So let me get someone working in that windmill. Everyone's working in here. We need people for construction, but that's okay. People are going to continue to move in as time goes by, and that's kind of what I'm expecting. Is this malt house connected? It is connected to the road. Okay. Yeah, that's going to be the plan. Is I think we get a bunch more farm fields out here. We still have 5 months of food supplies, so we're doing okay on that front. But we can make it better. We're going to get the heavy plow, which means, let me see, how many unassigned ox have we got? We got 5. So if I go down here, I can upgrade you with a plowing station. I can upgrade you with a plowing station. I can upgrade you with a plowing station, and I can upgrade you with a plowing station as well. And then when this one up here happens to be built, we can upgrade this one with a plowing station, and that means that the 5 ox that aren't doing anything are going to be put to work, and that's going to be so much better for the farms. The long-term goal. Ooh. Oh, look at you. The long-term goal here is that we don't import food. That's the idea. That's the plan, and that's the hope, but we'll see if it works out that way. That's kind of a time will tell sort of deal. At the very least, it seems these guys are complaining a bit less about not having food, so we have that going for us. And I'm also thinking that it might be time to actually go ahead and try and get these extra burgage plots in here and see what this is all going to look like. Can I get away with... I don't want to get away with that. I want to do this, basically, and then swing you around. That's going to look terrible. That is going to look terrible. Can I make it not look terrible? I don't know if I can. I don't. I really don't want it to. I don't want it to look like that. I'm not gonna lie. I don't want the house on that road. That's awful. What about that? Still looks. Oh, I can get 2 plots there. How fancy. You know what? Maybe we just have to live with the fact that this is really. That's the best we're gonna get. I think that's just something we're gonna have to live with. So yeah, we'll go ahead and build that. That's fine, I guess. This space in here is gonna have a couple of plots, and they're also at a bit of an angle, which I don't love, but that's fine. I could make it smaller. I could just make it one big plot. But we'll do this, and then for here, what can I do? Can I? It's not. Oh, it is possible. Oh, I can do a little. Wait a minute. Can I? So I can't do across here. I can do there, but road access is obstructed basically everywhere. Apparently that's not obstructed though. You know what? We'll just leave that open. Maybe that could be a market. Maybe that little corner can just be some kind of weird little market. I don't know if we need that as a market, but that's about the only thing it can be. So sure, we'll put a weird little market in there and everything's going to be fine. But anyway, there is good news. We can start to assign the oxen to all of these farmhouses now that the upgrades have gone through. So that's 2. This one is going to be 3. And then if we go up this way, this one somewhere here is going to be number 4. And then this one, this new one, which hasn't been built yet, but the goods are on the way, so hopefully it won't take too long. Once this is good to go, we can get another ox into this farmhouse as well. And we do have a harvest coming up. We have a lot of rye. We have no rye in that field. We have a lot of rye in that field. Of quite a bit of wheat in that one, quite a bit of rye in that one, and none in that one, which is, again, fair enough. But let's get ourselves an ox right there. That should mean that none are unassigned, which is great. Still a lot of space for a lot of people to move in, so I'm just going to say, honestly, I'm just going to say that everyone can work in here. So the next 3 people to move into Nerdenfeld are going to work in that farmhouse, and that's going to be absolutely perfect for us. It's not necessarily going to, it's not going to change the current harvest necessarily. It's absolutely not going to do that, but it is going to mean that basically I can go out here and build a bunch more fields and we'll be completely fine. What I'm thinking I would like to do is get a little bit of money and just continue with these orchards. I'd like to get some goats in here as well. And then I think a bunch of these guys can also be set up, like these guys down here could be set up with some vegetable gardens. I just think a bunch of the burgage plots at this stage need to be set up to produce their own food because we are down to 3 months supply. We have added about 100 people to the population today. So as efficient as things have sort of become, we are going to start, I think, losing food a little bit. Although in saying that, I mean, production is still going for the war bows and the shields, so we can continue to import. But again, the goal is that we don't do that. I'd like to get Nerdenfeld to be self-sufficient so that we can move into, you know, this region or wherever I want, really, and start having more towns. And then if we have more towns, we can have them trade amongst themselves, which is kind of the whole point of the region system. So I guess what we can do is rally the troops and start heading out to deal with the bandits. And honestly, I don't even know that we're gonna need the archers. So I think I'll disband the archers so that we're just sending out the spear militia, because we're just dealing with camps really. So we've got this one, we've got this one. That's gonna be 2 groups of enemies. Let's just go to about there. The enemy will be drawn out at some point, and we have a drought. The ground started going all yellow. We're in the middle of a drought. Now, is that gonna hurt my fields? We're at 47 in here. We do have the policy that says that droughts are not quite as severe. Now we're down to 45, so we are still losing crops. We're absolutely still losing crops. So what I think we're gonna do is force an early harvest on some of these fields, because I really don't want to lose all of my crops. We're not going to lose all of them, but we have so many fields that it is going to be a rough time for us if we don't get these early harvests going, especially given that we don't have that many fields that are actually being harvested this year. A lot of them are sitting fallow. So the sooner we get this going, the better. Looking at my soldiers, they're over this way. So they actually crossed the map really, really quickly. But this will be, oh, hold on a minute. We have 368 gold. We're about to get a bunch more, but I want to spend this while I have it, because again, the whole point is I want apple orchards the entire way down here. They are quite expensive, so I'm taking the opportunity to do it now. So get those into there. It leaves me 118. Now I could do goats in here. I could do chickens in here. I think the goat shed's the way to go, because I would like to start exporting leather once we start to have a surplus of that. So we can do one there, and with a little bit more money we can do a few more of them. That'll be fine. Looking at my soldiers, how are we looking right now? There's the enemy coming out to us. That's totally fine. That is to be expected. That's what we want them to do. Can I just tell my guys to go and fight? Because again, we're gonna take them out no problem, right? In theory. Am I just trying to push through here? I don't know what my soldiers are trying to do. This is a really weird looking fight right now. There we go. We're starting to do damage now, which I guess is better than not doing damage. And what we can do is go and take over the bandit camp. Although my guys are looking, yeah, they're kind of fatigued. Their effectiveness is way, way down. So we'll take the bandit camp. We'll send that money back to the nearest town, which gives us 195. So again, if I press T, I can go straight back here nice and quickly. We'll go through, get ourselves the goats right here. And then a bunch of these can just be chickens. I don't know if I want to do chickens right in front of the manor. I mean, for efficiency's sake, I really should, shouldn't I? These ones here are actually quite large plots. So they could reasonably be vegetable gardens. So maybe these guys, we've got enough to do a few chicken coops. I think these guys are going to be chickens. These ones are going to be vegetable gardens, and that'll be the split that we do here, because they are larger plots. They're going to be better for it, so I think it just makes sense. And so now we've taken over another one of the bandit camps. Let's send those resources to the nearest town, which is pretty good for us. We do have another camp down here, which I didn't notice. I don't know if this is new or if I just missed it. So I'll send my troops this way. We have 157 in the regional wealth. So we'll come through. These guys have been set up with chickens as well. I'm going to set you up with some chickens. We are going to set you up with some chickens as well. And then these guys, I think as well, same story, just chickens the entire way around. And that's going to be pretty good for us. These ones are set up with obviously vegetable gardens. This one can probably be a vegetable garden too. And then a bunch of the rest of them are going to be chickens as well. This one could even be goats for all I care. I think we'll do the chickens just because. And then I have a little bit of money. Do I have any large plots where I could do a vegetable garden? I'm going to say that the answer is a resounding not really. So that's fine. We'll just give you some extra living space because I can. We'll give you some extra living space, and that's all right. I don't know if any of the rest of these guys have room for extra living space. This one, I mean, look at this. These guys all have extra living space, and it looks absolutely fantastic. And just because I nearly forgot about it, we have another bandit camp that's been dealt with. Let's go ahead and send my guys back into my region. We got 181 regional wealth to play with right now. Do we have the ability to upgrade any more burgage plots? We do not, because we don't have the planks. We do have a lot of timber though, and we are going to have some more people moving in. So I'll tell you what, let me go ahead and get myself another saw pit, and I mean, this seems like a pretty good space for it up here, to be quite honest. It's just a nice little corner for it. A bunch of road connections. That's absolutely perfect. It's a bit of a distance from the lumber guys, but honestly, that's totally fine. Let's get this thing to be a nice priority right there. And basically, the reason I want to get these upgraded is because if we get, what is this? No free oxen. Oh, I totally forgot about that. Do we have free space? We do have some stable space. So maybe not a bad idea to go and order another ox just right there, because we do ever so slightly need it. I'm also wondering, can you guys be upgraded? We can totally upgrade you. And that's totally going to give me more money as well. It's going to be quite a bit of timber to do it, but we can do it, so I might as well. And I'll upgrade as many of these guys as I can. These are a bunch of the orchards. We'll do 4 of them. That's totally fine. We've also got some relatively low-level plots around here. This one is building something. This one also can't be upgraded because no fuel, no food, and no clothing. Interesting. Does anyone live here? That's why. Okay. That explains a lot. I was a little bit worried for a second there, but yeah, that explains it. Let's get these guys upgraded since they're kind of on our main street. They sort of deserve it, I think. That'll be a nice look for us. And then this is also kind of a main street, which probably should be upgraded as well. So let me just go through and upgrade as many of these as I can get away with. Same with these guys. We'll just go through and just hit upgrade on every single one of them. It's gonna be a nice supply of gold. I should probably stop doing that though, because I only have so much timber. In saying that, I've got 81 right now. So you know what? At the very least, let's try and upgrade an entire side of the street and see how that goes. So that entire side of the street's now being worked on. Can I get the other one as well? We're down to 57, 53, 49, 46 now, and 42. I think we can do it. There we go. Yeah. We're going to upgrade that entire street, which is going to be amazing. It's going to be a really, really nice supply of extra gold, which is what we're looking for. I don't know how, but we are sitting on 779 regional wealth right now. So spending that's going to be fun. I've also realized that we have room in this apiary for a few more people, and that makes me wonder, do we have room out here as well? We absolutely do. So we'll try and get all of those some market stalls. Hopefully we see some markets pop up in here. I'll be honest, I've been tempted to get rid of this marketplace simply because I really like the idea of having the market on this side surrounded by a bunch of houses. I also don't love that these burgage plots are tiny. Those might need a little bit of love at some point, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what ends up happening there. Still no progress on the saw pit over here, unfortunately. That's mostly because we're only now starting to get some ox in here. I've got 2 of them that are unassigned, so we should hopefully see the materials come out here in no time at all to build that thing. And then we have all of these upgrades going on as well, which is a lot of construction work. A lot of construction work, a lot of materials going around, a lot of people needed to build all of this. We're at 913 regional wealth now. That's kind of wild. We do have a bit of a surplus of eggs, a really nice surplus of apples, vegetables, berries, but I mean, honey is hopefully going to double. We don't have much of it, but that's hopefully going to double. How are we? Oh, we just spent like 600. I don't know what we just spent that on, but we just spent so much gold. Oh, that hurts. That was painful to watch. Oh, now this is exciting. This plot right here is about to upgrade to be a level 3 burgage plot. The reason that's exciting is because we only need 1 more plot to become a large town, because if we scroll down this way a little bit, look at that. Look at it. It's so good. I love how they look. I love that they're super close together because we have the double plots right here. Still got the little kind of archways beside it. It looks so good. I'm so pleased with this. I'm so excited to get this done, because once this is built, I mean, it's gonna be huge for us, because we can go in, we can get ourselves another development upgrade, and the development upgrade in question is going to be bakeries. And that, I believe, is Nerdenfeld maxed out. We can't go any larger at this stage of the game. I don't know if we ever can go any larger than that, but that's okay, because what I want to do at this point is I want to get me a bakery. I want to go in here and I want to see what I need for a bakery. I need planks for a bakery. Now, planks have been such a pain to come by, but we can get a bakery right there. If I can get my hands on another few planks, I can get another bakery next door. And I'm pretty sure that by getting bakeries, I could probably get rid of the communal ovens, because these things are twice as efficient as the communal ovens. So this might be incredible for us. I really want to see these come together. Like, you know, obviously it does need a good amount of planks to happen, but that's huge. We are sitting about 13,000 regional wealth. We have 13 months worth of food supplies. So at this stage, we're not even importing anything anymore. All we're doing is exporting stuff and producing our own food. If it dwindles a little bit, we go ahead and import it, but we have, let's have a look at the breakdown. 266 vegetables, 238 bread, 517 eggs, and 301 apples. A little bit of a surplus of honey as well is amazing to see. Like, that's so good to see right there. But I think what I'm gonna do, just before we move to wrap things up completely for today's episode, I say completely for today's episode, not for the series or anything like that. I think we're gonna do two things. I want to come in here and I want to get myself a few more burgage plots. So let's figure out what way I want to do that. I think this little road is going to come out at a bit of an angle, and I'm going to sort of curve it back like this so that it can sort of cut through the forest a little bit. I don't need these plots to be absolutely enormous, but what I think we'll do is go to about here, and that'll be okay. I think I want to come straight across here from the back of that apiary, which I'm completely okay with. And I think that's roughly going to be the size of the plots. I think we'll come over something like this. We'll kind of curve up a little bit, you know, make them a little bit more interesting looking than than I was originally going to. So that'll give us a nice curve at the back of them. This can continue over this way and connect down to that road right there. And yeah, I'm gonna, oh, someone's using it already. That's fantastic. I'm gonna just put some burgage plots in there. So straight across, straight up to there, straight down to there. A little bit weird looking, but I'm kind of here for it. I definitely don't mind that. I could go for some double lots if I wanted to get these to level 3 at some point, but I doubt that's going to happen. So we'll just do 5 of them in there. It gives us this space over here as well to play with, and I don't really know what to do with that because I don't know what direction the buildings should. Oh my God, the camera. I don't know what direction the building should face. I'll tell you what. Let's bring a road out like this. Let's sort of curve it over a little bit, and we'll just connect it to I'm gonna say right about there. And I think we'll do some burgage plots in here as well. We'll go for something like this. Should be pretty good for us. That gives us another 5. And the reason I wanted to do this is because I want to build another granary. I want to get some people moving around. I want to see if we can get some food supplies into here. I think we could maybe do some burgage plots in this road as well. I'm not going to go quite as big with them. We'll just bring a nice little road sort of out like this, and that should be totally fine. Let me do burgage plots like this up to here and across to here. That's going to give us some interestingly sized ones, but I'm kind of here for it. And then I guess the granary in question, I'm going to put it in this little corner up here. So we'll go and get ourselves a granary. I'm going to turn off snap to roads, swing it around, and it is going to live out here somewhere. I'm going to say right about there should be fine. And I think another storehouse maybe. I don't know that we need another storehouse. I think a granary is something we need. I don't think a storehouse is at this stage, although we are probably going to start filling the storehouses a little bit sooner than later. In fact, looking at it, yeah, we're starting to see some full pantries, generic storage full, people a little bit unhappy, work area empty. That's all to be expected. That's totally fine. I think this space is going to look really good though. And some of these guys are going to be another opportunity for, I mean, these guys, more apple orchards. These guys, maybe some vegetable gardens. Some of these guys can be more chickens. Not that we need any of those, but, you know, I'm not going to say no to another 400 eggs. Okay, I think it's fair to say that we're in a good place. I've gotten a little bit carried away here today. This episode's gone on way longer than I wanted it to, but we're in an unimaginably good place. We have almost 40,000 regional wealth. We have 22 livestock, well, 22 livestock. We have 22 months of food. We now have 18 months of fuel. And that's broken down to 99 meat, 432 vegetables, no berries, 909 bread, 1,200 eggs, 386 apples, and 15 honey. So everybody, for the most part, should be relatively happy. I did move this market. All I had to do was bulldoze the original one. I moved the wells back here and got some new burgage plots in here that look absolutely fantastic, might I add. This looks amazing, this little market right down. I love it. I love it. It's amazing. I'm going to upgrade these guys as well because I was thinking of getting rid of them, but I think we'll just keep them because it's a nice little spot for them. And then a bunch of this stuff, honestly, you guys can get upgraded at some point as well. The tavern supply seems like it's letting us down a little bit, so I decided to get myself another. We have a couple of breweries right here. We have another one up that way somewhere as well. So we have 3 breweries. We currently have 389 malt, and we have 352 ale in storage. Now, I don't know if ale goes into a granary. It looks like it does. So if anything, I think we just need more granaries. And I just said I was going to wrap up this episode, but I'm going to build a granary. I'm going to build a granary. All right. And we're going to build it back here because I think this is a great spot for it. It's right by a market. We have a granary over here already, and I'm hoping I can start to fill out all these guys. We could build another one up here. That would be an option, but I'm just gonna build it back here. It's fine. I'm getting carried away. Getting a little bit carried away, but we're gonna build a granary back there. And it will fill out this market. This market has 2 spaces left, which is totally fine. I don't know if ale goes to a market. I don't think it does, but that's all right. And you know what? Just because I'm nice like that, I think we're going to build ourselves. We should build another church. We should build another. We don't need one, but we could build it. I'm going to build a tavern. I don't have anywhere to build a tavern. I could build it in the grounds of the church. That would be very Irish of me. We don't need it. I really don't have anywhere to build it right now. I love this though. I also don't know if I've mentioned in the series, but it's Control C to turn off the HUD. That's how I do like the little shot at the start of the video. This looks amazing with the HUD turned off. And if you go out to your map like this and press Control C, you can get like a Game of Thrones style look at your map as well. So this is Nerdenfeld as it would appear on a map, which is so good. I also love that you can so clearly see the, don't zoom in too far, it gets weird. You can so clearly see my little like fort right here as well. I love it. Speaking of the fort, you know what we're gonna do very quickly. You're not gonna see the finished result in this episode, but we're gonna build the garrison. We're gonna build ourselves a tax office. I don't know where the tax office can maybe go back here. It could go over here. I don't think it really matters. What's gonna look better? I think front and center is going to look better for the tax office. So we'll build it sort of down in this little corner as best as I can get it to be. I think right about there seems pretty good. And we'll get ourselves a road that just goes down to the front door of that place. So we'll come straight down like this. We'll go straight over like this. And that seems pretty good. We could do walls and we could do gate. Well, no, we could do outer towers if I really wanted to as well. We have got the resources to do it. So I think just because I can, I'm going to do a little outer tower just about there. I think is going to look decent. And then I think this corner needs one as well. So we'll rotate you around like this. And we'll see if I can get myself just a little tower down in this corner. That's going to look anyway, even halfway decent. We can go to, honestly, we can go to about there. I think is going to be pretty solid. Does that block a door though? It looks like it might actually. It's kind of hard to see. Yeah, so it's going to slightly block the door if I'm not careful. We'll just bring it back until it's just there. I don't love it. It's not perfectly on the corner, but honestly, it's good enough. And then up here, I want to get one last little tower, and I want to see if I can get it right on this corner in a way that's going to look pretty decent as well. So let's see if we bring it back and bring it in. I might not be able to get it right in the corner. I think the best I'm going to do is about there. And that's totally okay. So those guys are going to need road connections too, I think. So we'll just bring this out of here. I don't think it wants to play nicely with me right now. I don't know if the game's very happy with me, but I'm going to go from there to there and to there, I guess. And we'll build, that's a fence. That's why. That's why the game wasn't enjoying my, my attempts. Can I build a road? No, it seems to only want to build. You know what? Commit to the build. We'll commit to the build. We don't have to rebuild everything, which is great. And then I can just do roads up to those normally later on. That's totally fine. It's going to look good. It's going to look good, but we're not going to have a reveal of this thing until the next episode, because that's going to do us for today. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. It has been an absolute pleasure as always. And as always, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.